Hello, and welcome back to the Universe Podcast. I'm your host, Teagan Elliott, and today I'm joined by special guest, Adam.
Hi.
Hi,
So weird.
Adam. Welcome to the pod. This is exciting. I've got another member of Seshvak's house. Yeah. So I was kind of confused when Wolf told me about Seshvak's house. What is it? Could you just give a little more detail? I'm just confused. So did you guys you lived in Fairfax house?
We lived in Fairfax, and
Where is Fairfax?
it's basically on the outskirts of the uni.
Okay.
It's like the accommodation that all the people that they don't really want there.
Oh, okay. Got it.
There.
Okay.
It's basically just go live on the outskirts.
Oh. Great. Well, Adam is here today. So we were having a little chat earlier, and you were telling me how you've lived in New York your whole life, and I didn't even know that.
Yes, I've lived in New York my whole life, and
Wow.
I thought Teagan was going to ask me questions on it, but she doesn't know.
Well, he goes, oh, are you going to ask me some questions about, why I've lived in New York my whole life? And I was like, oh, have you now? That's so interesting. So now I want to know why. When you applied to unis, did you want to stay close? Did you want to stay close to somewhere you knew? Did you?
I really wanted to go to the other end of the country. I wanted to go to Bournemouth.
Where's that?
And it's literally down the furthest south that you can get.
Okay. Well, I thought Plymouth was
Yeah, you can go there as well.
My internal map of England in my head it's gotten a lot better. I feel like I know where places are. I feel like I know more places than Wilf now.
That's good. You should maybe know that before you arrive.
Before I arrive. Well, you say that, but I mean, I feel like some people would probably travel to America and they're like, oh, yeah, I went to this place, but I don't really know where it was in America. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's a big place. It's all right.
I've been to America once. I went to Florida.
Okay. Disney World? Or Miami?
No, I went
Miami.
to I went to all of the theme parks that weren't Universal.
Okay, did you go to Harry Potter Land? No, wait, you said you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I went to all of the knockoff ones.
Okay, I didn't know there were knockoff ones.
I didn't know what it would be like at all. They've
Okay.
got massive cages around the pools so that alligators don't get in.
Oh my gosh, have you
Yeah.
ever held a baby gator?
No. What?
Well, so there was this restaurant my family used to go to when we go to Florida, and you get to take a picture where you're holding a baby gator. There's a picture of me and my sisters, and we're holding this baby gator. And my little sister was scared to hold it, so she held the end of the tail. It was
No, I saw a bobcat though while I was out there, a
Ooh.
mountain lion.
They have those in Washington, and so when I first moved here, when I first moved there, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, beware of the bobcats and the mountain lions and shit." And then I remember my neighbor would say, "Oh, I saw a bobcat," and we all thought she was the crazy neighborhood lady because no one else ever reported seeing them.
No, but they're just out there in America. How do you let that happen?
And bears, you guys don't have bears here, do you? I don't think you do.
No,
Yeah.
we don't have anything that will kill us probably.
Yeah,
If we went out.
well, that's the thing is you go camping in Washington, and you have to put if you're really out in the woods, you got to put your food up in a tree so that the bears don't eat it and stuff like that.
Do they do that in a tree?
Yeah, you have to get a rope and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
and
yeah.
put it up
Because
in a tree.
there's stuff
It's a whole
people
thing.
get killed if they
Yeah.
leave their food in their.
Well, I
tent with
remember
them.
I was camping last summer with my sisters and my dad and stuff, and we heard things going through our food, and it was a bunch of raccoons
Oh.
because we'd left some s'more snack stuff out.
Worst I've had camping is there was a fox outside of my tent once.
Okay, do you guys have woods in England
Yes, yes.
where you can go camping in?
I think legally, probably it would be difficult to come by
Okay.
legally, but people do it anyway and they don't get caught, so it's fine.
Because
You can
I've
just
never
go
seen
camping.
woods in England. I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
Go. No, you just get in a car and go.
Oh yeah, let me just hop in my little car on the wrong side of the road and drive stick shift and.
It's I don't drive.
Okay,
so I
thing
can't.
about driving. Okay, so in America, I was walking and I was like, wow, how efficient that you guys you have a yellow light that goes off before the light turns green again. Because in
Yes.
America we have it goes, it's green and then it goes yellow and then it goes red. So the yellow means, okay, it means slow down. But then I remember I was in preschool and I remember the teacher asked us, the teacher was like, oh, what does green mean? Green means go. What does yellow mean? Yellow means stop. I don't know, red. I can't speak.
Red.
Red means stop. And then what does yellow mean? And then I remember like I raised my hand and the teacher called on me and I was like, it means go before the light turns red. And she was really concerned for me. She was like, no, Teagan, it means slow down.
America is weird with like its traffic laws. Aren't there like some red lights that you can go through?
Well, you
Like,
can
on a
go right
turn.
on red, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it says to not do that.
This is why my family got into a car crash when we went to Florida.
Oh my god.
It was a small one, like it was just a bump, But
All right. Well, okay. Well, what I was gonna say about the yellow is that you guys have it go yellow before it turns green again. I think that's really smart because it means like, oh, it's time to start revving up the engine again.
yeah,
I thought that was so smart.
I don't know enough about cars to.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Well,
driven.
I mean, I appreciate it because okay, do you have people that like because in America it's like the light turns green, and if you don't step on it pretty soon, someone's gonna honk at you.
Yeah.
So green, step on it. Boom.
Yeah, I think that happens here.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I want to talk to you really random about orange juice. So like, so like, how often do you have orange juice as a British person? Speak for England.
I was nervous before coming onto the show. Like, what segments are we gonna do? The orange juice segment.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious because in Greg's they'll have like orange juice. You go to a coffee shop, they've got little bottles of orange juice. Like there's orange juice everywhere.
When I was a kid, I used to drink it every day, and then I realized like it's really sugary. There's
Yeah.
a lot of sugar in it, so
Yeah.
not
But there's
that much
vitamin C and stuff. So I mean, it's good when you're hungover. I found I drink orange juice
Yes.
in the morning
Yes.
because I think the sugar and
Absolutely.
the vitamin C and everything.
I think I'm more of an apple juice person,
Oh.
but
Wait. Do you like do you like apple flavored things?
yes,
Do you want my apple vodka?
yes,
Because I don't know what to do with it.
I'll take it.
Great. Well, here's the thing. So I tried to mix it with like orange juice and it was vile. So then I mixed in regular vodka and different kinds of juices and it just kept getting more and more disgusting till I just threw it away.
Just lemonade would.
And green
work.
apple vodka,
Yeah,
it tastes like chemicals. It's like,
to me it seems like it's just gonna be like sours flavor.
well, when I was a fresher, I would mix a shot of half sours and half of the vodka that was like the accompanying flavor. So I would do like half green apple sours and half green apple vodka, or half raspberry sours and half raspberry vodka.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It would get you smashed.
You like that? We love a bit of that.
Yeah. Also, I just wanted to clarify for everyone. So the title of my last episode being
I told Teagan about this.
didn't know this.
I
was
don't
a
know
thing.
if anyone picked up on it. American audiences probably didn't. Huffle Puffs.
Now you say it, and I'm like cringing.
In,
Well, okay. The way I meant it before we just begin is I meant it as like, oh, like in Hogwarts, you've got your Hufflepuff, your Ravenclaw, your Gryffindor, your Slytherin, and everyone's talking about how the Hufflepuffs, they're called Hufflepuff for a reason because they're always puffing, they're always smoking weed. That was my reference to it. Now tell me what you thought I meant.
So I didn't watch the whole of that episode, and I thought Huffle Puffs. In the UK, there's like it's half slang, half like disrespectful. I feel like
Sorry.
it's like a derogatory term to call gay people a puff. I'm allowed to say it. I am gay.
I'm allowed to say it.
Huffle
I didn't
Puffs,
know it
I
was
just
a
thought
thing.
Harry. Is it gonna be a episode about how Harry Potter's sort of like bordering on homophobia? I don't
Well,
know.
people thought Daniel Radcliffe was gay for a while. And then he, like, I don't know, because he did some interview where he was like, I know people are going to think I'm gay, but I'm not. And that's that. And you could think what you think, but I know I'm not, so that's that. I was like, fair enough. Like, yeah. No one knows but you. You know what I mean? But, no, what was it? Oh, yeah. That then was reminding me of, so you know how when you guys go for a cig, you'll say you're going to go for,
A drag,
or
a puff.
the one that starts with
fag.
F. Yeah, there you go. I'm so scared to say it because you don't say that in America. You don't say it.
Yeah, but I say it all the time. So
Okay.
I think it's fine. People are much less offended by things here. I feel like.
Yeah. I think that's true. I concur.
Yeah. I don't think it's one of those things where like anyone would get upset with it.
Yeah. We know what I was thinking of the other day. It was really random. I was just like, I'm in England.
Okay, yeah.
I'm here. Like I took a shower this morning and I was like, I'm in England and I'm taking a shower.
It's been over a year, hasn't it?
Yeah. That's so crazy to me.
Is it like difficult being far away from where all your family are and all of your friends from America?
Yeah. Okay, so like joking aside, it is strange. I guess like I mean calling my friends and family every day and then like it's weird that I don't talk to my sisters almost ever. Yeah. It's really weird. I don't even know if they listen to the pod anymore. Like but then the thing is we meet up and it's like time hasn't passed and we are goofing off, joking around all the time. But my parents I say I call about once a week. I'll text things to the family group chat. Okay, this might be a little peek. But so my parents are separated and I created a family group chat like years ago called OG Fam and it has everyone in it. Parents, siblings, everyone. It's because it's the OG Fam. And so I text there. So like if I want to update everyone in the family and not just one person individually, I'll send like, oh, like here's a picture of me on my film set to OG Fam. Yeah. Send. Yeah.
How was your filming? Yesterday,
yeah.
You had a strange experience, didn't you?
Oh my God. I almost died yesterday. So I wake up to help my lovely friend Kieran. He is so lovely, okay? We're helping him on his film. And this is like me and my friend Cal. And Cal's going to come on the pod, I think, probably next week. And he really wants to talk about this.
Me and Cal got kicked off of Erica's filming set. We were laughing too much.
You want to talk about laughing?
And Erica's belly rumbled at one point and I just burst out. I had to get sent off.
Were you on sound?
The room. I was on the clapperboard, so I didn't really need to be there. So
we started saying at the end of the episode every time, well, not the end of the episode, at the end of filming, we always just would call the clapperboard whoever was doing it. We're like, you have the clap this time. We would tell everyone you have the clap.
Well, do Americans understand that?
I
think they do.
I think so. Yeah. If you don't know, look it up. We would just tell people, Cal's got the clap.
If you don't understand, then you've got the clap.
Or, okay, but then there's also, to differentiate, so there's like the clap, and then there's also like you're clapped. So like, when I first moved here, this was something I had to learn. I initially, okay, this is going to sound really strange. I took it as like clapped as in like clap cheeks, like you have like a big ass kind of thing.
So when people were saying, "Oh, Teagan, you're clapped," you were like, "Oh, thank you."
It wasn't in reference to me. It would be like, like she's clapped, and I'm like, she's got a big ass, like Slay Queen. But instead, I found out it meant you're ugly, you're hideous, like. So people would be like, she's clapped. Then I learned what it meant, and I was like, oh.
Teagan, we're on a tangent. You need to tell the folks at home what happened to you. Yesterday.
Oh, yes. Okay, sorry. Okay, back to that. Okay. Well, so Cal wants to go into a lot of detail on it because we almost died, and he really wants to talk about his harrowing experience.
All right.
However, I can briefly say, don't film somewhere you've never been. Please. Okay?
You will learn next week why.
Because we went to this man's house. He ended up being friendly. But we almost died.
Was this in York?
It was in this place, what was it called? It's like east of York. Starts with a D, like Darrington or something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
I really should know this.
Starts with a D. Oh yeah, you're from here. Yeah. Anyway, it was like a cute village. Some of the houses looked really posh, like it looked really nice.
Yeah.
But the house we were at was not posh or nice.
It didn't
Which
look
is
like
fine.
it.
Like, trust me, I've been in some scary looking uni houses. I'd rather be in a scary uni house than where I was. Okay? I'll go into detail next week, guys. We We were so excited to leave. I've never seen Cal smile so big before. He looked so happy, like, to be in the Uber. He was like, freedom. Like, so we were supposed to film in this location all day. Like, we were going to film for Kieran's film. Like, we got there at, like, 8 a.m. Yeah? Got there 8 a.m. And he wanted to film, like, all his scenes there and, like, a dinner scene, everything. We hit a point where we get there and Cal's like, he's like, I'm getting an Uber and I'm going home. Like, I'm not staying here. Like, this is a joke.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no. I was like, okay. I was like, let me talk to Kieran. And Kieran was directing. This was his film. So I spoke to Kieran and I was like, look. I was like, I say you do your bare essential scenes here and then we get the fuck out. So we did 2 of his scenes there that were like a garden scene and then like a coming up to the front door scene. And then I was like, and we're going to dip. And I offered my house. I asked my housemates and we ended up filming here. So that's 2 films in my house now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have this ugly like lime picture thing. Did you see it in the kitchen? By my stovetop, there's this picture of this ugly lime that's like dripped in water. I think it was some sort of like, meant to be some sort of cool like 90s edgy like lime in the kitchen.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain.
I didn't
It's this
notice
ugly
it.
picture of this lime being dropped in water and they tried to make it look cool. And it's like the main focal point of our kitchen. And that's now in 2 films.
Should get an orange, just for the orange juice.
Just for all the English people that love their orange juice.
I'm gonna cough, is that alright? I've been trying to hold it back for minutes now.
Genuinely,
Can't.
everyone that's on a film set right now is getting ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's my fault.
Great. So you're like the first case of COVID, essentially, type vibe.
No, I've just had a really bad, like, cough for, like, 8 weeks now. I'm dying.
I hope you get better. Are you drinking water? Are you staying hydrated? Are you sleeping? Adam. Okay. Before filming, was working so hard to eat healthy, have my vitamin C, be healthy, drink a lot of water, get a lot of sleep. I was really motivated to not be ill for my film. And somehow I still got it. And now that it's cold, everyone's got chapped lips.
Yeah.
Everyone's like dying inside. Everyone's coughing. Everyone like on set, we're get quiet on set and you start filming, everyone's got a hold in their cough. It's bad.
Like, it's snowing today, and I've got to film outside for some of mine. And
Do you
I'm
want
just
to
like,
see? Look. So I wore this on the episode with Fran, but I had to wear it again because I saw it was snowing, and I was like,
Lilo
up
and
to
Stitch.
snow good. I love a good cheesy joke. Ooh, I have another one. Are you ready? Are you ready? What do you call a cow with no legs? Something's up. It must be
Yeah,
snow.
people are dying.
Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear, but there's another ambulance. Okay, but I'm gonna continue my joke. Okay, what do you call a cow with no legs? You've all had time to think now.
The cow in the ambulance.
Ground beef. What do you call a cow with one leg?
So American humor is very different
Steak.
to British humor.
What do you call a cow with 3 legs? Lean beef.
I'm not coming on the podcast again.
Anyway, so I have this little sweatshirt that says up to snow good, and it was snowing today, so I had to wear it, but I had to find my gloves, had to bust out the scarf, the big puffer jacket. I wore 2 layers of pants right now.
Oh my god.
2 shirts. I'm like, not.
We're not well.
No.
Help us.
Help us. No, so.
We're in the Cosy Lives.
Cosy Lives. I love saying Cosy Lives.
It's the new
I've
phrase.
also been working, I know I already said slay earlier when I said slay queen. However, I've been a lot better at not saying slay now.
It's an addiction.
So I'm trying to say fetch. I've been working on fetch. I'm making fetch happen.
I've never heard of fetch.
Have you ever seen Mean Girls? When she's like, that is
I
so
watched it
fetch.
ages
She's
ago.
like, stop trying to make fetch
Ages ago.
happen. Well, I'm making fetch happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been saying like, that's so fetch.
I wanted to know, coming onto this podcast, I wanted to know, from your home, like Seattle,
Yeah.
what were like the urban legends and the strange things going on in Seattle? I want to know stuff.
about like things that were happening.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is really random. Do you remember? Did you ever hear about this? Made it in the news, like globally, I think. Talking about, remember when there were a lot of like the police protests and stuff that were really heavily going on like a few years back.
Is this 2020?
Yeah.
Like, the whole George Floyd thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there was one area of Seattle where they created their own like city within the city where they like they basically barricaded themselves in like this area in this block of town or whatever with like these barricades, and there were no police that were in or anything, and they had a name for themselves. It was called like, what was it called? The Chaz or something?
I don't know.
Something like that. Anyway, it was in the news. It was a big global thing, people talking about it because like the police weren't able to get in.
Yeah.
This place was their own city, and it was really strange. I know some
Did you
people...
ever see it?
Well, no. My parents were like, "You are not going to the city." And I was like, "Fair enough." It was pretty scary. Like, I know one of my dad's coworkers, she like lived near there, and she was like, "I'm kind of scared to like leave my house, so I won't be coming into work."
So, were people just in the city or not? Whether
In
they,
the
if
Chaz,
they
yeah.
didn't have like a choice
What
in
was
the
it
matter?
called? I checked my phone, but I obviously can't. It's predisposed. Do you want to talk about my sketchy camera setup?
Teagan has, on a tripod, a large book.
Called The Priory of Orange Tree, which I've yet to read, but I've heard amazing things.
It's quite big. It's a hardback cover. On top of that, she has a candle, and behind the candle, stacked up against it, is her phone. This whole recording session could come tumbling down at any fucking
No,
second.
it's pretty stable. It's pretty, unless there's like an earthquake. I think it's pretty stable. Mind you, the tripod also has like really skinny legs. It's really twiggy.
It just worries me. I don't want to look at it.
I think it's alright.
We're film students.
We're film students, and this is like a ghetto setup. But you know what? Like I'm getting the shot. God, and look at my long socks. I'm really concerned for myself right now. But no. So, other than this thing called whatever it was called,
the Chaz or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh, then there was a thing going on TikTok where people found, and this was at Alki Beach, which is this like beach. It's like a beach park. In I think it's like West Seattle. Which is a little more like, it's not a touristy section, we'll just call it that.
Yeah.
So people go to Alki Beach and have like bonfires and things like that, and so I've done bonfires there a couple times. But there was like people posting on TikTok like, oh, like there's this weird looking suitcase over here. Like I wonder if there's like a body inside.
Okay.
LOL. And they opened it.
What do you mean? I wonder if there's a body inside.
And there actually were body parts inside this suitcase, and the police had to like, get involved. And this was like supposed to be like a funny TikTok, and there actually was like a body inside the suitcase.
See, that's what I wanted to hear. That's the creepy shit I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
so no like
I mean,
personal creepy experiences.
Jeffrey Dahmer, I think it was also
Oh shit.
in like Sammamish area, which is like 30 minutes outside Seattle.
What did Shamami?
Sammamish. So basically, there's a big like Native American community in the Pacific Northwest.
All right.
And so there are a lot of like names that. So we've got like Sammamish, Tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of American, the names of places in America. A lot of this Native American language, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, also, or they're like named after like old English places. You got New York, and now we're in Old York.
I like to think that it's OG York. We're in OG York.
OG fam. OG York.
OG fam.
Well, whenever I tell people that I go to the University of York, everyone assumes it's in New York, and I feel like, no, it's actually in England. And then I think my friend shout out Beryl was confused for a bit because I had said like I was going to the University of York and that I had like committed. This was really nerve wracking, and she knew I'd talked about going to England as a thing, but like didn't know I had actually like made it happen now. So she was like, "Oh, like you're going to New York? Like that's so cool." I didn't know this was like an option for you. Blah blah blah. And I was like, "No, like I'm not going to New York." And I tell a lot of people. So now I try to clarify. I'm like, I go to the University of Old York, and that still doesn't really help.
And they're just like, "What the fuck is?"
Yeah,
this
but I mean, to be
person
fair, I had never really heard of York, England.
People don't
before
know what York is.
Before I applied to schools here, I'd never heard of it.
I saw a tweet the other day where it was like a really bad picture of our York, this York,
Yeah.
and people saying no wonder they made in New York. It's throwing shade.
Wow. Well, I mean, okay, something I just wanted to also talk about as a thing was like in New York, the buildings are obviously very tall. Got a lot of skyscrapers. It's a newer city. Like obviously the infrastructure being fresher, you're able to create new big tall buildings versus the buildings in London. I loved London when I visited, don't get me wrong, but it felt very short. I don't know how to explain it. It felt short. And all the houses here feel short. And when I first got here, I was like, everything just felt smaller. It felt kind of weird. It felt like...
Do you know why that is?
Well, it's because, I mean, obviously, you guys didn't have big cranes and shit to build all these big skyscrapers years and years and years ago.
We do now, but...
But no, but like back then. And so, like, it just felt shorter because obviously, I mean, a lot of these buildings, you guys gut out the insides and make the inside modern, but the outside is still like that old brick.
There's a reason why York isn't big, though.
Oh, well, I know that there is a rule saying that no buildings ought to be built taller than the Minster.
Yeah. I was testing your knowledge. I wanted to know.
Yeah. But, no, okay. Also, some of the street names here are very strange.
Whitmer-Watmergate.
Whitmer-Watmergate. That's a pretty strange one.
Yeah. It's
probably the only really
the Viking stuff.
Yeah.
There's always gate. Micklegate.
Micklegate.
Stonegate. Warmgate.
Yeah.
Whitmer-Watmergate.
Whitmer-Watmergate.
There's no streets. There's all just gates.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't agree with it because I never know where which gate is.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna stay in New York?
I don't know. I don't want to be here my whole life. I want to go somewhere else. I want to like explore.
It's kind of. I mean, I left to come here.
Yeah. And I would leave the UK for somewhere else as well. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's very everywhere looks the same. If that makes sense.
I do kind of get that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I visited Newcastle, Edinburgh. I visited. I mean, if we're just sticking to England, okay, if we're sticking to England and not doing like Scotland and Wales and everything, then just like Middlesbrough, Newcastle, York, London. I think that's it. I'm trying to think.
Where's this conversation gone? I saw. How did we get from like orange juice to here?
Yeah. Well, okay. Also, if we want to get also random, I said to Adam. So I was spilling the tea to Adam a couple weeks ago, and I was like, Adam, like, here's what's going on in my life. My life is so crazy. Blah 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 blah. Spilling all the tea. You were like, in shock, and then you go, Teagan, you don't need to watch Euphoria. Your life is Euphoria. And that's really stuck with me ever since you said that. And I've told people about this, and they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, apparently. But, I mean, it's like Euphoria in some ways, I guess, but, like, minus, like, the hardcore drugs.
What? Wait, what? Oh, I thought you said mine is, not minus. I was like...
Minus, like, being a drug dealer and doing a lot of hard drugs, yeah.
I genuinely thought that Teagan was like a massive stoner.
Admitting to hard drugs. I was like, yeah. I do ket on the daily.
I would not be surprised.
Wow.
Yeah. You heard me.
You're sassing me up right now. Well, okay, if we want to talk about drug culture in America versus England, I'd say in America, a lot of drugs you hear about are like, obviously weed, because that was legal in a lot of states. Yeah. So it's becoming less taboo. Here it's still like, oh, like blah, blah, blah.
I think
had we
it's all of the old people in Parliament. They're just pussies. They never tried it. I'm just telling the truth.
So
they should roll a joint.
It's still like taboo here. And then I'd say a lot of people that I've met, like ket seems to be pretty prevalent. That they talk about ket as a thing in this country versus America. I hadn't really heard about ket until I came here. But I'd say I hear more about cocaine in America than I do here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've still heard about it being a thing here, but if people have ever met someone that's done either ket or coke, they mostly have done ket, not coke. But in America, if I know people that have tried, or know people that have maybe hypothetically done drugs, they've done coke, not ket. That's just like a general observation I've noticed about drugs in England.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't allow it.
Don't do drugs.
I mean, alcohol is technically a drug, right?
I don't know.
But there's a massive drinking culture over here, whereas it feels like in America.
It's less of a...
Yeah.
Other than, like,
like
Greek life.
hazing.
Fraternity, sorority. Oh, talking about...
Seshfax got accused of hazing once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a post on Vanbrugh Confessions saying that we were like a cult.
Oh, shit.
And that we were hazing people.
Oh.
We're all just friends, and we literally don't drink that much either. And it was sort of a weird thing. It turned out that post was made by an American who just didn't like us for some reason.
Why do they have to be American?
Most of the people in Fairfax didn't like us, and we were just trying to be friendly to everyone. We would invite people to barbecues, and they just
being sociable.
didn't like us.
Yeah.
We
I mean, there are a lot of people that also don't that just don't like me.
We were probably just
And
really loud.
The people pleaser in me is like struggles with that a lot.
Yeah.
When people don't like me, it like really stresses me out, and I've really been trying to work on it. I'm like, you're not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. Don't be mad about it.
I feel like I have the same issue sometimes, but I'm not as sociable. I feel like you're a very sociable person. Like you go out every other weekend, and you're just like.
I go out too much. Like, so on James events, right now we're planning Freshers Week for next year.
Okay.
It's already happening. Like we're
already.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal. No, this stuff gets planned out like ages
Wow.
in advance. Yeah, and so I'm wondering if I want to be a stick this year.
Were you stick last year? Okay. Are you on James events? Then?
Yes. So like I basically like I'm just on the events committee and I plan like events for James College, but I don't. I wasn't a stick. And so basically what sticks are, for everyone that doesn't know, in New York, at the university, you'll have people that are called sticks, spelled STYC.
It's a stupid name.
It's like an acronym for something, I think.
It's a really stupid
But basically sticks are like people that aren't first years, so second and third years, like upperclassmen, that then they'll take care of first years on their big freshers week night out. So they're there to make sure that everyone gets home safely, that everyone knows where they're going.
But yeah, Teagan, I'd say do it because I've got housemates that did it and they really enjoyed it.
But I know that everyone gets so ill after freshers week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the only thing that's stopping me. Like everyone I know that was a stick got so immensely ill this year, except for me, because I was not a stick, and I was really appreciative of the fact that I had my health.
Don't do it.
But I also love the idea of having these like first years that you connect with, you get to leave like your legacy with, and that, well, not that, but that like they will, like you have your fresher friends, like you have friends that like you're like you're their mentor, and that's kind of cool.
If you want that, here's my experience. When I was a fresher, I did not give a fuck about the sticks. I did not care.
I know. Well, but you say that, and the thing is, I like my house didn't connect with our sticks.
Oh, but to be fair, I already knew everywhere in New York anyway, so that's probably why.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I'd say like my housemates that were sticks, their freshers are still friends with them, and we'll see them on nights out, and everyone will buy each other drinks, and like they're just like they're friends with them, and they've been to our house for prees before. Yeah. Like they're freshers, and like these sticks, like they're like all friends, and I'm like that'd be so fun to have fresher friends that I could like be a mentor to. But I don't want to be ill.
You just got to balance the risks of...
Also very indecisive.
Just take a bunch of paracetamol.
Hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's to not being ill and getting better. End? This is the end.
Oh, no.
It's been like over half hour. Yeah. I mean, is there anything you want to say to the people?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
There's something that I've been wanting to say for a while.
Oh.
It's to a close friend of mine, Wilfred Beaver. He may have mentioned me on his episode of the podcast. Wilfred, fuck you. Fuck you, bitch.
Going out with a bang. Love that for you.
I know you're going to watch the YouTube video as well, so...
Also, in England, this is the thing, people do this.
No, we don't.
To be fair, the guy that did it in my house last year was Welsh, so maybe it's a Welsh thing.
Maybe it's a Welsh thing.
I'm not sure. Anyway, that being said, the pod has... This has been fun.
This is going to be a really bad episode. I'm not going to lie. You asked me about orange juice.
No. Okay, you know what was random? Was when I did a solo episode and you went, Teagan, You should really just always have guests. You shouldn't do
Yes,
the solo.
because you had a Pancake Day episode that lasted like 20 minutes, and you just sat there talking about pancakes.
Did you watch it? I talked about
watched some of
pancakes for
it.
maybe like a bit of it. The rest
Yeah,
was me
but-
talking about other things.
Teagan called me up on a Thursday night.
Oh yeah, this was
On a Thursday night flares. She was like, Adam, come out. Teagan,
Because you love a cheeky flares.
I do, to be fair. Teagan, it's my granddad's funeral tomorrow.
I forgot about
She
that.
kept asking me, just come out. Just come on, you'll enjoy it.
And I said it'll be really fun compared to a funeral.
And she kept on insisting that I'd have a really good time at the funeral the next day if I was hungover.
No, that is,
You really did.
I wasn't trying to say if you were hungover. You obviously would have a good time doing anything hungover. You know what? Maybe it would have been more fun.
You know what? You might not be wrong. we finished the funeral set thing, and then at the wake we went to a conservative club.
Was it an Irish wake?
What? Why would it be?
Was he Irish?
I don't really know.
Because people talk about Irish wakes. It's like a party.
No,
You
it wasn't like
celebrate their life.
No, we just
Oh.
went to the conservative club.
What's that?
It was a pub for conservatives.
Oh,
Awful.
that sounds like This sounds like the kind of place for you.
As a as a gay boy. No, it was not.
Gay boy. Why'd you say it?
I had people coming over and being like, "Oh, you look exactly like your granddad." I'm
Oh.
no, I don't
You're like,
want to
I'll be
hear
the
that.
more fun version. Aww. Well, yeah. Funerals are hard. But on a happy note, go to the club afterward to
Go to
have
the
a good
club.
time.
Genuinely do.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that you've learned from uni, it's that whenever you're feeling down,
Go out.
Just go out. You'll
Yeah.
enjoy it more when you're out.
Well, here's the thing is, I love how we're trying to wrap it up, but we keep going, is when I'm feeling like really sad and I don't want to go out or something, if I still rally and go out anyway, 9 times out of 10, I'm really happy I went out in the end anyway, because just being out and being with your friends and being social, it gets you going. If you wallow in your sadness, you'll continue to be sad.
I really don't go out that often, but when I do, I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
I have a fun time.
What a happy note. So go out, have fun, tell your friends and family you love them.
And take paracetamol if you're ill. Don't be like me.
There you go. Drink water and get lots of sleep. Yay! All right, thanks guys. Thanks for listening to the Universe Podcast. You can listen to this where anywhere podcasts can be found. That being Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, all of the places. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We recently hit 1,000 followers
Hey!
on the Instagram.
That's nice.
So give that a follow at the Universe Podcast, and yeah.
Oh, and if you're Wilfred Beaver, fuck you.
And also follow Seshfax.
Follow Seshfax
On
Instagram, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Great. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.